take me back, Tanya, when we met. You're a graphic design artist. Is that what they call it? I don't even know anymore.
Graphic designer.
Graphic designer.
Right.
And you did my ad for Macintosh Media.
Yes.
And
I did that.
That was awesome.
It was. I did your logo, and we also did some sort of an ad. I think it might have been for Billy.
For Billy Mays?
Either way, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'll check these out. What was it called? Something free. Phone free? No, what was that product? Wow.
Phone free.
Is that what it was? Phone free.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a great product too. Revolutionary product invention. That product was amazing. Let's use that product as an example, that phone free. You could drive hands-free before Bluetooth and put it on an AM station, and it would receive the phone call so that you could talk through the speakers on the car before Bluetooth. It was amazing invention. It was really amazing technology for its time, At the time, there was nothing like that. For $20, there was nothing in the world like that. You just put it on an AM channel.
Back then, all we had was, just little flip phones.
Yeah. So tell me about the Green Glider. Tell me about how you got started with the Green Glider.
I'm a mom, and I invented Green Glider for everyone who wants to save money and do something better for our planet. It's a top quality upgrade for your mop.
So stop. Well, I was just sitting at my desk working, and all of these ideas started coming to me at once. And you know how normally people, if they have an idea for something, they think, oh, well, that would be really neat. And then they just move along with their day and do what they're doing and just forget about it. Well, for me, I had like 10 inventions come to me all at once. And it was just the oddest thing. So I thought, you know what? I'm not going to ignore this. So I started writing them down. And I realized that the one was the most time sensitive and had the biggest audience and the biggest market. So it was a reusable, washable mop pad for the Swiffer mops. But it wasn't just a piece of cloth that you put around the Swiffer that you could, remove and wash over and over again. It cleaned and it absorbed with the combination of microfiber to clean and chamois to absorb. So this idea just really worked. We started off with 2 layers of chamois and realized 4 was going to be twice as good. So it was really, really absorbent, and went ahead and
you knew that it was going to work. You knew that it was going to be a hit. There was no question in your mind. I mean, your tenacity is really something to be cheered about, because it's really amazing what you did. You believed in that so much that you went on to do amazing things. Sorry to interject. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. It was the way that I came up with that was I was looking for something just like this and realized it didn't exist. I'm like, wow, there's got to be something. There's got to be something washable and reusable to put on the bottom of a Swiffer. Back then, there wasn't. But what I did find was this huge market of people looking for the same thing that I was. I'm like, wow, look at all these people online. Everybody's looking for this. I'm like, well, no one's going to do it. I will. So I took the 2 best cleaning and absorbent products, microfiber to clean, chamois to absorb, put them together into an adjustable universal mop pad, and with a huge market that already existed, and I patented it, and came up with the name Green Glider, which you helped me with, and decided to try to bring it to market. I was able to find manufacturing, and I was able to build a business out of it, because at first I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And when I brought it to you, we thought, well, maybe this would be a good product to license, let somebody else who already knows the business take the product and sell it to their audience. So some things are really, as you know, work well with TV, with infomercials, and other things work better with home shopping or network, or they sell better on the shelf or online. And, it's just a matter of trial and error to see, where the audience was.
It's amazing because we went up to, we flew up in the jet for my client, right?
Right.
And we spoiled you right off the bat. We flew you from Clearwater to New York City in a private jet, which was a pretty amazing time. It was a great time in life. And
That's great.
You got a deal immediately, and they funded you. It was really, I mean, the product sold itself. It really did. So when we were showing Emson, Eddie Michon from Emson Products, when we were showing him that, he knew immediately what it was, because all we had to say was the Swiffer reusable instead of cash in the trash, throw away. And he loved that concept. So he gave us the money to film it, to film the commercial, and funded the whole thing, trademarked it. We got your website up and running, but it didn't work on TV because, like you said, some things just don't work on TV. But, it's a different age now. So some things just don't work, on TV or in print, but they work, with a video, doing demonstrations like your product, because that's important. Demonstrations are very important for inventors to show, the all the good points and the things that you need, or, all the features and benefits. Every inventor needs to know their features and benefits. That's very, very important. So the pitch and the demonstration is very important, which I think, I was just looking at some demonstrations from Billy Mays from Mighty Putty. And he was pulling an 80,000-pound truck with this putty that turns into like a rock, right? It's an adhesive, right? Pulling that truck. I mean, those demonstrations, I don't see those online anymore. I don't see demonstrations like the one with yours, like the Green Glider demonstrations. I don't see those anymore. I just see a static picture of things, and people are like, oh, I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's just it's a different era. It's a digital age, and we're bringing everybody into the digital age.
We are, and when people see something, they're like, "Yeah, I need that," and sometimes they don't even realize that they need it until they see it. And sometimes there are, other things out there that do the same thing but just don't work as well. So with the Green Glider mop pad, it was basically an accessory for the Swiffer mops because the mops already existed. So instead of my trying to reinvent the wheel and, design a mop to compete against the Swiffer, I had a reusable, washable, durable, adjustable, universal fit mop pad that, it fit on the Swiffer and all of the other competing mops at that time. And
so you got problem, solution.
Problem and a solution. People, they want to save money. They want something that's going to work better, and they want a quality product. So that's everything that Green Glider brought to the table that didn't exist. So I saw the problem, I saw a hole in the market, and I filled it. I fixed the problem. And
I love it.
Yeah, because with the Green Glider mop pad, the mops, the Swiffer mops, they all work the same way. But the mops are what clean your floors. It's the mop pad that does the cleaning. That's where your quality and performance needs to be. So once I got that through to the consumer, then everything started to come together, and I decided to build a company around it. Some people want to do licensing, some people just want to sell online, but I actually built a company, raised capital, built a marketing plan, built business plans, and it took time. But I figured, you know what? If somebody else can do this for me, I can do it.
Yep.
So I decided to just, that was life changing for me, and my life has never been the same. I never expected, to have all of the opportunities that came my way after that. And
but you did it, though. You did it. You went for it. You saw it.
Yeah.
All we did was open the door for you, and you were like, "Okay, I'm walking through." A lot of people, we open the door and they say, "I don't know if I want to walk through there. I don't know if it's cold, hot. I don't know. I kind of want to stay on this side." People just they don't like change, right? You embraced the change. It was amazing what you did. You raised the capital. You got into a group of all those people, and I mean, just think about it. You made a lot of money, riding on the back of a Fortune 500 company on Swiffer. Literally riding on the back of the product.
On the coattails, right?
So I want you to tell people out there that if there's an existing product out there and you think you can make it better, go for it.
Absolutely.
There's no ceiling. You can do whatever you want. Marketing and inventing there's no ceiling on it. You can be in tech one day and inventing things one day, and then you can be in the kitchen the next day. So there's no said plan to it. It's just an amazing story what you did.
Sure. And, and people think, oh, well, something like they come up with an idea and they think, well, something like that already exists. Mm-hmm. But if you can make something better, build a better mousetrap, then there might just be a huge market out there that, you can just create. And what my product was a category disruptor. Absolutely. Because at the time, there were no washable, reusable mop pads. They were only the disposable kind you use once and throw away. And that was it. So, it was like Green Glider was absolutely the first washable, reusable mop pad back then. And, in probably, I'd say 18 years, I've accomplished so much, so many things that I never expected to, because I joined this network of entrepreneurs, and everyone helped each other's businesses grow, which was really great because everybody had a different talent, different skill set, and
it's kind of like what we're doing here with Million Dollar Inventions. We got a great team, a bunch of pirates. We're a bunch of misfits from all over the place, right?
I know.
And we're all coming together to help inventors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we've already done it. We've already went down these roads. And, instead of an inventor, trying to go through it themselves and hit all the speed bumps and, make all the mistakes, we've already done it. We've already made the mistakes for them. So we can, explain to them how we got to where we are. And we all have a different story with Million Dollar Inventions, so we're going to relate to them. We're going to, everybody's going to have, some people have products that are on a napkin. Some people have products that they have a prototype. Others have inventory. Everybody's at a different phase or a different stage, but it doesn't matter. Just because you only have a prototype or you only have something drawn out, doesn't mean it's not, something that we can help them with.
Yeah. From the concept of everything to the real thing, from concept to completion. We can do everything from concept to completion. We can get a prototype made. We can get it digitally sold online, or we can get it into stores at Walmart, Target. You're a vendor at Walmart, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that, because you're a female, a vendor that's a female, that you get
a woman-owned business. So
exactly.
Yeah. So Walmart had a supplier diversity division, and they basically were looking for female entrepreneurs, inventors, business owners to bring on board, and give them a fair shot, because most of the, for me, most of the companies that were on the shelves in Walmart or in any big box store in the cleaning department certainly aren't owned by a single mom.
Right.
just
Well,
came up with an idea.
you are fighting a giant. I mean, Swiffer's a giant in Walmart. So you have everything stacked against you, but you kept going.
I kept going. And yeah, so originally I started selling in catalogs, which was great, which got me into QVC. Then because we sold out on QVC, all of a sudden, I was very easily accepted by the Walmart buyer. But that's how I got into Walmart. It was through QVC, but it was a little bit of a backstory.
I love this story.
Yeah.
I love it. And you know what this story, you know what the principle of the story that you're going to tell is? The reason why I love this story is be kind to everybody, because you never know where one act of kindness is going to take you.
I know. You never know who you're talking to. So, and I tell you what, that has really taken me a long way, because I don't know. I always respect people, and especially ones who are coming to me for help. And this lady, she was about 80 years old, and she saw Green Glider, the mop pads on QVC, but she didn't want to buy them off of QVC for whatever reason. And she somehow figured out how to get a hold of me. And so next thing you know, she's emailing me, and then we're on the phone together, and she said, I really like your product. It's such a great idea. She said, I hate having to spend money, every week on those disposable mop pads. And, she's like, I'm on a fixed income. I can't just, buy them all the time. And besides, she said, they don't really work very well. So I'm like, yeah. I said, if you don't want to buy them on TV, you can buy them off of me directly. And so she was like, okay, but you're not going to charge me for shipping, are you? And she was just, very sweet old lady. And she called me quite a few times. And whenever she would call, usually I was really busy, and something just told me to stop what I was doing, breathe, and just listen, and just let her speak, because she was by herself. Her husband was very sick. And she needed someone to talk to. And I could tell. So, I said, well, look, why don't I just send you one for free? And if you like them, you can buy more. And she's like, oh, you would do that? I'm like, yeah, of course. So I sent her one, and she said, if I like it, I'm going to buy it for all my friends. Well, that's exactly what she did, because next thing you know, what she did was she sent me a check. She mailed me a check for 14 more Green Glider mop pads and gave them out to everybody she knew. And so she loved it.
That's awesome.
And yeah, she loved that, I would just listen to the things that she wanted to talk about, especially about her health, her husband's health. And the next thing you know, so she had a son, and the son lived out of town, and he came home to visit his parents. Dad was sick, as I said. He calls me up, and he's like, hey, he said, Tanya, my name is Alan. I hear that you were very kind to my mother. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay. And he said, she showed me your product and she really loves it. And he said, frankly, so do I. And I'm like, well, great. And he said, I live in Bentonville, Arkansas, and I get products into Walmart for a living. How'd you like to get in front of the buyer? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. So within 2 weeks, we had a meeting with the buyer. And before you know it, I'm flying from Florida, from the Clearwater area in Florida, all the way to Bentonville, Arkansas, with a meeting with the buyer. And the buyer was
amazing.
Like, how did you get here? He's like looking around. He's like, I don't meet with individuals. He's like, how did you get on my calendar? And I told him, the story of how I got there. And he's like, because I meet with Procter & Gamble, Libman, O'Cedar, Clorox. I don't meet with Tanya Lewis from Florida.
Right.
And so when I told him my story, he was like, wow. He goes, your story needs to be told. And I said, well, that is what I'm planning, because the book I'm going to write about my journey is called There Is No Plan B. Because if there was a plan B, I would have taken it.
Right.
I made it so there was only plan A. I had no other choices, so I had to stick with it.
It's true.
I didn't have a safety net. And the buyer of Walmart, he was like, I love it. He's like, put put together a marketing plan. He said, come back in a couple of months. He said, because that's when we'll be doing our reset. He said, we'll see what we can do. So I did, went home, got some people on my team together. We put a marketing plan together, went back out to Bentonville, Arkansas, met with the buyer at Walmart. And next thing you know, he's like, okay, he put me in all 50 states. And I sold in Walmart for 3.5 years. It was amazing. Opened up all kinds of doors.
That's just truly amazing. It really is. Tell us how you feel like when you saw that on the shelves for the first time at Walmart. What was that feeling like?
Oh my God. It was thrilling. It was exciting. It was like, oh my God, I was shaking. Because the first store that I ever saw it in was in Florida, in Kissimmee. So when you go into a retail store, it's not like you're in every single store all at once. You kind of build up to it, and so one of the first stores that I got into was in Florida, and it was just really exciting. I took one of my investors, and we drove to this store in Kissimmee, Florida, and it was like I knew exactly where to look. I'm like, because I knew where it was on the planogram,
right?
And it was right next to the Swiffer. I was like, yes. And yeah, so that was, it opened up a lot of doors. And I learned a lot too, because becoming a vendor for, the biggest retailer in the world had its challenges, but I just didn't give up. I just kept going at it. And even if I couldn't find the help that I needed, I figured it out, because once you know, and
right. But getting to that point of knowing and having that mentor is very important.
Right.
Not everybody can just call up me and say, hey, I've got an idea and, to get it going. So that's why I said to everybody, this right here, if you got a product or invention, I'm going to review it myself. I'm going to take a look at it myself. If I don't like it, then I'm going to tell you I don't like it, but I'm going to look at it myself. And there's not a lot of people, I don't know anyone who you can access like this that's in the world of products and Walmart and Target and Amazon and TikTok Shop. I don't know anybody that's doing that.
No, I mean, all of us who are working with Million Dollar Inventions, we've all been there. We've all helped people. We've reviewed products. We've had our own products reviewed. So all the heavy legwork is done, and it's just a matter of, okay, is this a good product, and what is the best avenue for us to start selling it on? You have a lot of expertise with infomercials and with TV as well as home shopping. And I've got the retail experience with being on. I've got.
It's okay.
I know. Okay. I'm getting ready to smack this off.
It's okay.
No, I've got retail experience with selling in Walmart for all those years, and just selling in other retailers. Like, I pretty much have been to almost every retailer to pitch the product to buyers. So I've been to so many different buyers' offices. I've been to see the buyer Target, Bed Bath and Beyond, Bed Bath and Beyond, multiple grocery store chains, Myers, you name it, and I've probably been there. So, being able to work with buyers is another skill set that I had to learn. And it's not easy because, they hold all the cards and you have to try to convince them, to put your product on their shelves. So having something that's reusable and washable is really, really good it benefits the consumer more than it benefits the buyer. So because the Green Glider was so good, and he saw the hole in the market, the buyer at Walmart. And it just went on to do great things. And this is the packaging.
There it is.
It was put on a peg hanger in the cleaning department, cleaning aisle of Walmart.
It says it all. Everything says it right there on the packaging. Look at that.
Exactly. Right.
Beautiful. Now tell me about, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to just show you the inside. So
let's do that. Let's do that demonstration. So let's pick it up and start from, I liked what you said. I originally had 2 layers, but more layers is better. Whatever you said. I forget the.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do that.
So, okay. So here's the Green Glider on the Swiffer. It's washable, it's reusable, and it's adjustable.
So simple.
It's going to connect onto the mop you've already got. And originally, when I brought this to you, Rick, I only had 2 layers of chamois inside. So the beauty of my product is that it takes the cleaning power of microfiber and the absorbency of chamois and brings them together into one product that cleans and absorbs. So
Brilliant.
we had originally, when we only had 2 layers of chamois, which we thought was going to be enough. Well, it didn't really absorb as much as what we wanted it to. So we went ahead and added 2 more layers. So if you cut it in half, so this is a Green Glider cut in half, and you've got the microfiber on the bottom to clean, and then the liquid, any liquid that you're mopping up goes up through the microfiber and gets absorbed by 4 layers of chamois. So instead of 2 layers, we went with 4, which ended up being perfect. So even if your product isn't 100% perfect, it doesn't matter. You can always improve on it. You can always change it. Many times people do have to go back to the drawing board, like I did, because we needed, to be able to demonstrate the absorbency, and putting 4 layers in the center was the ticket.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It worked.
It worked. And you know what's great is what you did was you took an existing product from a Fortune 500 company, Swiffer, and then you made a product that made it better, right? But you didn't have to invent the materials. The materials were already there. So what you did was you just used your brain and you worked forward and you went and you just kept going. And you didn't take no for an answer. And that's what people need to do. That's what people need to know. Don't take no for an answer. If your product is really that good and you can ride the back of something like this, go for it.
Right.
Go for it.
And I don't know about you, but I've had plenty of people tell me no. They told me I can't do this. There's no way it's going to work. All the people who wish they could do what I was trying to do. People who failed, people who just really, they weren't able to get it right, and they just gave up. Well, I wasn't going to give up because I knew what I had, and all I had to really do was convince people of just how good it really was, which wasn't too hard when you put the Green Glider up against one of those flimsy Swiffer pads.
Exactly, the product is king. Now tell me about so you've gone through this for almost 20 years now. You've been an inventor in the inventor space for 20 years, right?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
20 years.
So my son is, well, almost, yeah, about between 18 and 20 years, somewhere around there. But by the time I actually came up with it, because I came up with it when my son was a baby.
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason why, because my son was crawling on the floor, and any dirt or dust or whatever that was on the floor was also sticking to his little hands, because he was just starting to crawl. And then, of course, what do babies do? They put their hands in their mouths.
Right. So first thing,
all the dirt that was on the floor is now on his hands and in his mouth. So I thought, I'm going to have to clean my floor every day, because before he started crawling, it really wasn't that big a deal. But the dog hair, cat hair, whatever, had to be cleaned. I was going to have all of that dirt and everything in my my baby's mouth. So
We used to say dog hair, cat hair, rat hair, my hair, your hair.
right, whatever. It's all on that floor.
It is. It's a mess down there. And you came up with this because of that. So you solved a problem, and it still is a problem that they haven't solved. I don't think anybody's really solved it. I mean, to me, here in Colombia, right? Every single morning you sweep out your house and then you mop the floor. That's what everybody does in Colombia. So we don't have vacuum cleaners. If you had a vacuum cleaner, if you were selling vacuum cleaners here, you would be broke. I haven't seen one. I have not seen a vacuum cleaner here. So let me just take a. So I personally started out in this business with the smart mop, and I love mops. I still use the smart mop to this day. I want to sell the smart mop here in Colombia. I've told you that. Everybody here in Colombia needs a smart mop. But, tell us about, what you've got going on within the mop category, because I haven't even seen it yet. So, tell us a little bit about it. Tease us a little bit.
Well, companies like Costco and the home shopping networks, QVC, they like sets. They want a whole kit. So, they were happy, to have the Green Glider mop pad as an accessory, but they kept saying, well, you got to come up with your own mop. I'm like, yeah, but they're already out there. And they're like, well, try and figure out, if there's something that the mops that are out on the market don't do. So I put some thought into it and I figured it out. I figured out what the current mops lack, what they don't have. And that's what I designed into my own mop, the Green Glider mop system. So it's going to be really exciting. I've been working with my engineers, and it is a kit where we're going to have the mop pads, and the big reveal will come when I get my prototypes back, and I can actually start to show people,
I can't wait.
Show people what my mop does versus what's out there on the market, because I actually did it again. I found a hole in the market and a hole in the mop market. And so I'm designing my own Green Glider mop.
And no matter what happens in the world, no matter what happens with AI or this or that, no matter what happens, you're always going to need a mop. It's a necessity in life. It's a necessity.
Everybody cleans their floor.
Everybody's going to clean the floor.
Everybody has a floor.
Everybody has a floor, and everybody has a ceiling. We don't have to worry about cleaning the ceiling. We just have to worry about cleaning the floor.
Right.
But I think it's an incredible story. What you've done is truly amazing. I mean, for every inventor out there, what do you have to say about, you said a nice testimony about Million Dollar Inventions and myself, but what do you have to say to anybody who's kind of on the fence about, well, I have an idea, but I don't know if it's good enough. And, I think fear holds people back a lot from things.
It does. And what I would say is, let us help you. Let us help you bring your product, your ideas to life, because we can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
We between all of us working together with Million Dollar Inventions, we have what it takes to put their ideas on TV, in stores, online. We, can show them manufacturing. We can, there's everything that you need. All of the pieces of the puzzle is what we bring to the table. We can look at a product, and if we like it, we'll know, well, let's start here. We can take all of the guesswork away from the inventors.
Right.
And that way they're at ease, they can work with us, and, we're working as a team versus, it's not a competition. There's enough business out there for everybody.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with everything you said. And, it's, Everything that we're doing here at Million Dollar Inventions, it's like a broken road, right? That we're just putting back together. We've already paved over it, and it's a beautiful road. There's no reason to build another road. Million Dollar Inventions has built that road for you. If you've invented a product, if you have a product, if it's an improvement on an existing product, Million Dollar Inventions will help you.
And we've already helped people along the way. I mean, over the years, I can't tell you how many other inventors have come to me for help, and I've helped them. And now we're gonna do it together as a team. There's so many people who have called me up out of the blue, or somebody getting a hold of me and have said, so and so, said that you have this invention and you did this, and I really need help. Where do I start, or where do I go from here? And I've been able to just help so many people. So now, it's like the natural next step for me to return. Earn, learn, and return. That's kind of how it all worked out for me.
I love that saying.
Now we're in the return phase.
I love that.
Get back.
Let's get back to everybody. Tanya, I can't wait to see you. When are you coming down?
I don't know.
It's only 2.5 hours from Miami.
Okay.
Same time zone.
Yeah.
And it's 75 degrees every single day. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Sounds like it.
Come down here and find yourself a Latin man.
Yeah.
Tanya, thank you so much for everything. I really look forward to seeing you in person, and working with you has been really awesome. I enjoy you very much. You're a pleasure.
Thank you.
So anybody out there that wants to work with Tanya, you're more than welcome to work with her. She's a pleasure to work with. She's already done it, folks. She's already done it for you.
Absolutely. Exactly. I did this. I was a single mom. I didn't have money. I didn't know, what I was doing. I had to figure it all out on my own. And I did. And now it's time for me to return.
I love it, Tanya. God bless you. God bless everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.